Yes, that's me. Ever since I was 10 years old, I remember going to watch my dad play for the Kowanyama Wallabies. I decided to make this documentary to take a closer look at their story. From the year 2010 to 2014, the Kowanyama Wallabies Football Club was undefeated. Their first grand final, they scrounged up enough money for fuel and jerseys and arrived after a 10-hour drive, using a mix and match of jerseys from junior shirts to senior. Did you have any coaching or playing experience prior to Kowanyama?
I did have a lot. I started playing when I was a kid with the adults. The little towns out west quite often didn't have enough grown-ups to make up a side, so they'd invite the kids to fill in different positions. But in later years I got quite a lot of coaching experience, starting from juniors and worked their way through, right up through the senior sides, and eventually rep honours as well.
Do you remember your first time meeting the team?
Yeah, well, because I was working on the construction site, which is the stadium there, the boys were training just down the back. So I remember going down there with Johnny and Dave, and I was very nervous because it's such a small community. There's such big, I guess, characters in there as well. So being down there was a bit intimidating. And the boys were just sort of doing drills, playing touch, and it was a little bit easier for me to get onto the footy side of things because my love for football. So I could just, so I just actually trained with them. But to actually getting to know the boys was a bit harder. Like to start with, so I sort of used the football side of things to sort of, I guess, infiltrate and get into the camp, and then it was after that it started getting heaps more better.
How was your first game with Kowanyama?
My first game with Kowanyama was completely different to my games that previously playing in a city-based competition. Going to the regional community, the players were less structured and a lot faster. So me playing in the back line in the city and then moving to Kowanyama completely changed where I'd play in a position. The players were sometimes not as big, but they hit just as hard.
Did you have a favourite competition?
We played in a competition called the Cape Cluster, which involved 8 teams from across Cape York, from Weipa down as far as Cooktown.
How well did you do in the Cape Cluster?
We did exceptionally well. We never lost a game in 4 years, including finals.
How important was footy in communities like Kowanyama?
Very. There's not a lot of activities in those small places. Anything you can do to contribute to the health and well-being of any of the local people goes a long way. The fact that the team was successful also made the townspeople happy and enjoy life. When we came back from a game after winning, There'd be people in the streets waving to the cars as we drove back into town like we were celebrities.
What made Kawanyama different from other clubs?
Kawanyama was different in the fact that it was a small town, so everyone knew everyone, and in small towns not everyone gets along. So there was players that were in the club that not necessarily get along outside the football team, but when we were in the football team, everyone put everything aside, any issues they had outside of football, and we were a unit in the club.
What was the team camaraderie like at Kawanyama?
Yeah, well, the team camaraderie was very tight. Like, we basically were all brothers. Like, as the season got on, the boys, there was a bond that I didn't really get to experience too often in footy teams. Everybody had each other's backs, like, and it was fun. There was a lot of moments just within the travel, within the games, that I guess you didn't you were a part of something, and you just knew that you were a part of something good. Just the feeling that you got being around the boys.
After the coach retired and senior players left, do you think the team would keep their winning ways?
Yeah, I think they can. There's all the tools were in place, all the systems in place for those players coming through the rank to step up and take over and keep that team at the top.